Episode 74, the Cairn Vault. So now we're going to visit the Cairn at Lake St. Francis. Now the Cairn is sort of a famous landmark in South Glengarry. It was built in honor of Sir John Colborne, and it was built by members of the Glengarry militia while they were stationed at the Glengarry Barracks in South Lancaster. Now we're on our way to the Cairn Island because of the piece of parchment we found buried deep within the vaults and caves and tunnels below Priest's Mill. And here's the parchment that we saw, Priest's Mill Vault, little MF and a shield, and we have the Ogham alphabet. And we've translated that to Priest, Prize, Oak, 60 by 60. So we think they're referring to the Cairn. 60 by 60 are sort of the dimensions of the Cairn. The priest's prize, and maybe the oak tree marker that we saw on Cairn Island. The true origins of the Ogham alphabet may never be actually known, but it's an old Celtic language, unique and mystical, made of characters called trees. Vertical lines represent the stem, and slashes are the twigs. The tree is read bottom to top, or up the tree, and usually right to left. The Celtic tree language is found mainly on stones and fields in Ireland. So what's it doing on a piece of parchment that leads us to Cairn Island? Most of these markers are border markers or monuments, and they're engraved with the names of their commissioners. On one is very similar to a Scottish clan crest. Quote, "He who was born of the raven," end quote, a reference to the clan marker found at St. Raphael's. Old myths say it was conjured up by the Celtic god of eloquence, Ogmios. Scholarly speculation suggests it was invented as a secret language indecipherable to neighboring British tribes. Others think it was created by early Christians who found it difficult to translate Gaelic sounds into Latin letters. When it was first used by Montgomery Faulkner when hiding the prize of Reverend Alexander MacDonald after the landing of the Scottish immigrants in Lancaster, this is what we believe has happened. Montgomery Faulkner, a former Knights Templar, went to the Cairn and somehow was able to bury the priest's prize, which was a cursed sword of the Clan MacLeod. The Ogham language or alphabet was also used on the black curse that was set upon John MacLeod. It was an affliction that related to prevent an uprising against the cursed sword of the Clan MacLeod in Glengarry. So we've seen this Ogham alphabet before, and we think that maybe this was a sort of a secret cryptic clue that led us back to Cairn Island. The map does show the Raisin River, and it looks like it has Williamstown or St. Andrew's Church on it, maybe John Johnson's Manor House. It has South Lancaster, the home of Montgomery Faulkner. It was the Knights Templar. He could have easily made the trip out to Cairn Island. The water is not very deep. In the wintertime, it freezes over. He could have walked right out. Maybe he planted the tree there that grew into the big oak marker. There are some markings on the wall inside, 1800s markers, early 1800s markers. But this is what the most amazing thing is. We found this Knights Templar reference and another sort of cryptic note, another piece of parchment. The vault led us back out onto the other side of the island, where we saw some stairs, some rocky stairs. We took the rocky stairs up and we found more references to the Knights Templar. But the piece of parchment that we found is very interesting. It's got a double pointed arrow on it. The top end points at a Roman numeral 3, the bottom arrow points at a Roman numeral 21. And written on the side, it's kind of ripped, but it says Mill Vault. That's where we were, we think, the Priest's Mill Vault. Diamonds of mountains, sky, and heaven. How's that for a cryptic note? Diamonds of mountains, sky, and heaven. Pointing at a 3 and pointing at a 21 in Roman numerals. Mountains, sky, and heaven. Mountains like high, gold rush sky, I'm not sure. Heaven. Also on the location was this old battle map. Now this is very interesting. It's got British forces fighting against, I'm not sure who they're fighting against, but there's some kind of army attacking them. Maybe it's American, maybe there's some Indian, maybe there's some French, I'm not sure. Well, that was our adventure to Cairn Islands, and so again we found some interesting clues. So we're off in search of our next destination. We're going to try to figure out what this 3 and 21 means on the map, but it looks like we might have to travel some distances. So we're going to be renting a seaplane, and we're going to be traveling this direction because we think it's like a north-south kind of thing, but it's not north and south. It's a little bit off to the side. So we're going to try that next.